everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am Adriana. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe. I really love seeing my subscriber number go up, and so many of you have been commenting and interacting with me, and I absolutely love it. And for those who did comment, know that I literally talk to you guys back. I absolutely love it. It's like literally one of my favorite notifications is when someone pops up commenting on one of my videos, compliments me, talking about my daughter, anything. I absolutely love it. So feel free to leave a comment down below, give this video a big thumbs up, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. For the reason you guys clicked today, I'm doing the what I wish I knew before giving birth. For those who don't know, I actually was induced at 37 weeks, so my labor and delivery wasn't a typical labor and delivery. I mean, it does have similarities, but it does also have its differences. So basically, I'm just going to be talking about things that I wish I knew, things I wish someone told me, or things I wish I researched more about just giving birth. So let's go. For number one being, I just wanted to start off the video with saying everybody is different, every woman's body is different. Labor and delivery and pregnancy is literally like snowflakes, where there's never the same two. Like literally someone could have the perfect pregnancy or someone could have the most traumatic pregnancy, labor, delivery. It is literally different for everybody. So keep that in mind. The video before this one is actually me reacting to my labor and delivery vlog. So if you guys want to go watch that to kind of just see the full picture of literally what went on, go do that and make sure you come back for this video. Number two, there will be people in and out of the room throughout the entire time, whether you're getting induced or whether you go into the hospital when you're already having contractions and stuff. There's going to be people in and out of the room. I wasn't expecting that. I was really just expecting it to be like my nurse and my doctor, and that was really it. But it wasn't like that. There was student doctors coming in, there was student nurses coming in, there were people training, there was the anesthesiologist, there was his little assistant for the epidural, there was obviously my nurses, there was my doctors coming in and out, there was other doctors coming in and out doing cervix checks. It was a lot. There was constantly people in and out. But for one thing that I can say, while the whole entire time I was pushing, it was literally just me, my boyfriend, my mom, and one nurse. So throughout that time, if you guys can hear my daughter in the background, she's just playing in the living room. I promise she's fine. But yeah, so throughout the entire time of me pushing, it was just one nurse, which was fine. I wasn't worried about nothing like that, but just I wasn't expecting all the student doctors to come in, and thankfully all the ones that I've experienced were so nice. I had the best labor experience, as far as the hospital and the nurses. They were all so accommodating and just helpful, so I'm thankful for that, because I know not everybody gets to have that experience of having good nurses. And I feel like, what kind of person are you if you're gonna be rude while in labor? That is one of the most vulnerable times of a woman's life. So if you don't want to do that job, don't do it, because don't make someone's labor weird because you're having a bad day as a nurse. But let's get on to the next one. Stop worrying about pooping while you're giving birth. Literally, while I was pregnant, that was one of my fears for some reason. Out of all the things that happened during labor, I was so worried about pooping, and I didn't. I thought I was going to, but I didn't. And even the nurse was like, if you do, it's completely fine. It happens to almost everybody. But for some reason, that was just one thing I was so, had anxiety over. And, out of all the things you're about to do, you're about to push a whole baby out, get an epidural, and I was most scared about pooping. But, yeah, don't worry about that. That is literally the least of your worries once you get there. I promise. The epidural wasn't as bad as I thought. So when I was pregnant, I was just reading things about the epidural and people just saying, oh, it hurts so bad. So I knew throughout my entire pregnancy, I knew I was gonna get the epidural. I never wanted to have a natural birth. Even now, after going through it, I still don't want to have a natural birth. I will get that epidural every single time. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Basically how they do it is they made my man and my mom get out of the room, so it was just me, my two nurses, the anesthesiologist, and his little assistant or something. So basically they just had me lay over like this, and they explained everything, what they were doing while they were doing it, which is nice. And the most thing they said is just stay still, just try to stay still, because if you move, they don't know what can happen. they could put it in the wrong spot. So staying still is really the most like important part of it. But really it just felt like a bee sting because they do a numbing needle first. It's not like the whole epidural needle that you feel. They do a numbing needle first. So the numbing needle really felt like a bad bee sting. And then when he actually went in with the epidural, I couldn't really feel the actual needle. It was just a lot of pressure. And I have a really high pain tolerance, so it didn't really bother me. It was just the pressure. But as soon as you got it, you could start feeling like the coldness in your body, and that just like felt weird. It was just super weird feeling like coldness going through your back. So once I did get the epidural, it was fine. The whole entire process of me getting it was fine. But one thing that I didn't know about the epidural is that it can wear off, and it could like only work for one side, because basically what they had me do, it kept wearing off on one side because they basically kept having me on my side because of the way my daughter was like positioned. So they had me a peanut ball in between my legs, and I was like on this side. So every side I would go on, one side would like not get the epidural, so I had to keep moving, and that was like weird. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it just completely numbed you from the waist down, but that's not the case every time. The next one, you deliver your placenta right after you deliver your baby. So I feel like I kind of knew that, but didn't really know that. Like, I don't know. But so after you deliver your baby, and this is for vaginally, obviously C-section is completely different, but deliver your baby, you deliver your placenta. And one thing I was not expecting is after they get the placenta out, they push on your stomach. I was not expecting that. That was probably the most painful thing throughout the entire experience that I experienced, like them pushing on my stomach. There's literally videos that my boyfriend was taking, and you can literally just tell in my face how much pain I was in from them pushing on my stomach. It was so bad. And they told me that the reason they were doing that is to help your uterus like back contract if it doesn't basically do it on your own. And this isn't gonna happen for every woman. I'm just talking about my experience. But for me, they had to push on my stomach to get my uterus to contract, and that hurt. So the next thing is, it will be unlike any experience that you've ever experienced. Like, I knew it was going to be such a crazy moment. Like, obviously you're bringing your baby into the world, but like, I can't even describe when they put her on my chest. Like, basically they took her out of me. They obviously cleaned her up and everything. Her dad cut her umbilical cord, and then they weighed her, and then basically me and her did skin to skin for probably like 2 hours until we went into the postpartum room. So I'm like, when they first put her on my chest, it was literally just an undescribable moment. I literally just started crying instantly because I'm like, this is like the baby that was kicking me for literally, well, in my case, 8 months, because I didn't go full term. I got induced at 37. So I'm like, this is just crazy. Like, this is literally the baby that I grew for the past 8 months, who was kicking me, who I would talk to every night. Like, I love her so much already, and I just met her. It was literally just, I mean, you literally will not understand until you have a baby of your own and you just understand it, because it's literally like a love like nothing else. I can't even, that whole experience, like even just me rewatching my birth vlog, like sometimes I just want to cry watching it because it's just such like a magical moment. And looking back at it, it's like I had such a good attitude going into my labor, and I feel like that made it so much better for me too. But yeah, it was just truly, nothing compares to it like at all. So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of has to do with like induced labor, because obviously I said I was induced. So one thing I was not expecting is, so basically I started my induction on October 4th and I didn't get induced till October 6th. No, I started my induction on October 4th and I didn't give birth till October 6th. So it was 2 days. It really felt like 3 just because of how the hours were. But yeah, one thing I was not expecting at all was to be in labor that long. Like, me going into the hospital on October 4th, I thought I was going to give birth to her that night. I thought it was like, okay, I'm gonna go in, they're gonna start labor, and I'm gonna have this baby tonight. I thought my baby's girl's birthday was gonna be October 4th. And as soon as I got there, I'm like, okay, so when do you think I'll have her? They're like, oh, a few days. And I'm like, a few days? What do you mean a few days? And they're like, well, you're young, you're only 20, you're a first-time mom. It's not like your body has done this before. So basically we have to start it from nothing. You're not dilated at all, you're not having contractions, nothing. So we have to start this from ground zero. So that's when they basically did all the procedures. And still, I thought, at least in my head, I was like, okay, if I don't give birth tonight, I'm definitely gonna give birth tomorrow. No, it went another day after that too. So it was super long, and a lot of people who are first time moms and do get induced, it does like take a little longer than probably expected. Another thing is, I didn't really have a birth plan in place because I kind of knew I was going to get induced from like 29 weeks pregnant, because I did get diagnosed with something called cholestasis of pregnancy. So I didn't really have a birth plan, but if, you know, anyone can create a birth plan. But I feel like just remember that it can go exactly how you put your birth plan, and that's perfect for you if it does. But I feel like just keep in mind that it might not be able to go exactly how your birth plan, how you want it. It might not be able to go exactly like that, because obviously they have to make decisions to make sure you and baby are the safest as possible. So say if you really did not want a C-section, but for example, your baby's heart rate is dropping, and the best thing to do is a C-section. It's just like, just be prepared for it to not go the way you want, so you're not super like, what's going on in the moment. So I feel like just keeping that in mind is also a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here, and I just wanted to say, if you guys have any questions about labor, delivery, pregnancy, my diagnosis that I went through with cholestasis of pregnancy, please don't hesitate to comment down below and ask them. I kind of wanted to do like an updated Q&A maybe for my next video. So if you guys have any questions for me at all, mom related or non-mom related, literally anything that you want, even if it's a question that you're so scared to ask anybody, comment and I will answer, I promise you. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.